Find out what's new and improved in the updated 2025 Tesla Model Y. I'll go through all the changes, what some people are getting really wrong, and I don't know why, and if you own one or maybe you're thinking of upgrading to one, why you perhaps should wait. If you go for the launch edition, you're going to be getting for free, or including the price, better said, one of 5 different color options, from pearl white to the new glacier blue, stealth grey, which I always love because it actually looks better with the rear bumper, and we'll talk about that later on, quicksilver, and ultra red, or lipstick as I like to call it. Pretty good value because when I paid for this car, I went for white because it was the cheapest, and all the other color options were I think $1,500 or $2,000, so that's pretty good value. Range has had a bit of a bump too, by about 3%, which is not insignificant, but it's something. And I think that the fanboys are probably misunderstanding is that there's no difference between the battery pack of what's going to China versus what will come to Australia. The difference is the testing method to understand how much range you're going to get. So if you go for the standard model, you're going to get 466 kilometers of rated range, whereas if you go for the long range, it's 551 kilometers. Now remember, that's WLTP compared to this Chinese method. And so, just always remember that's best case scenario. Take 10-20% off that, and that's realistically going to be your range. So 466, maybe we'll work out to be at 420, 400, depends how heavy you are on that foot. And that's a great segue to the next thing. Had a speed bump by 1 second for the entry-level model. So this one I'm in right now is 6.9 seconds to 100 km per hour, and the new one is 5.9 seconds. So that's awesome. So if you do buy early, and I would caution against it, by the way, and we'll talk about that later on, it's going to go from 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds, which is like performance car characteristics for what is not a performance price. So it's very compelling, isn't it? Sticking with the launch edition, they all seem to come with 20-inch Helix wheels. These have got 19-inch, and they're actually pretty good, I feel. They look good for the car. They fill out the wheel arches nicely. And normally when you go for 20-inch, you're going to sacrifice riding comfort because there's not as much rubber to absorb bumps and stuff like that. Tesla has said that they've actually improved the suspension again. So this is now the 3rd time this has happened. So thank you very much, because this is the OG and it is very hard. It's been lamented by many. It's been rough. Anyway. So thank goodness, something that I think most owners are going to love. Something that I think has made this car look so much better and gotten away from the what I call ugly duckling sort of frog eye stance that used to be the old Model 3 and this Model Y is this new redesigned front as well as rear whilst we're at it. And it's now got a light bar across the front. I think it's a great redesign and a lot more pleasing to the eye, and the side profile looks largely unchanged. You now get interior wraparound LED ambient lighting like you get in the refreshed Model 3. You get some soft touch surfaces and a new 15.4-inch screen that also you find in the Model 3. Now, interestingly, they've heard the feedback, oh my gosh, and they've kept the indicator stalk. Thank you very much, Tesla. And if you look closely at the steering wheel, you've got 2 customizable buttons that are sitting close to the actual symbol in the center. The usual scroll wheels, of course, and your wipers and lights to one side and your other stuff on the other side. But so grateful that they've kept the indicator stalk, because it was always so annoying that, this is not a steering by wire system, so you have to turn the wheel quite a lot. And if the steering wheel's ever upside down, good luck to you. And Model 3 owners who've got the new one will relate to this. Good luck to you to actually know, is that actually left or right? I don't know. But I guess the elephant in the room here is they've removed the drive stalk, and now it's going to rely upon Tesla Vision that in most situations like this in a car park, if you've got a clear to find something behind you and something beside you, it's going to go, oh, you want to drive forwards, don't you? Yeah. And vice versa. And what is not as easy though is that when you're in a car park parking, you have to do the slide up, you have to do the slide down, slide up, slide down. It's ridiculous. Now, thing I forgot to mention in my Tesla Model 3 review, which, Tesla gave me their car to review, so thank you, Tesla, is that there's actually heart buttons, so you can press them instead. Or there's aftermarket accessories. So look, I'm not too fussed that it's lost a drive select stick, but I do dislike the on-screen experience. It's just bad. And actually, the aftermarket accessory stuff, I would go for the sexy wheel thingy. That's really cool. I need to do a video on that. Remind me. I'm going to do that. Definitely need to do that. Next up, and today is the day that I wish that this car had ventilated seats. My goodness. It came to the Model 3, and now it's finally come to the Model Y, and something that was been long overdue, because these seats, especially in summer, very hot and sticky, and I wish that they had ventilation in them. I really do. In the rear, there's now power recline seats, along with an 8-inch screen that's also Bluetooth enabled. So that means you can actually, I believe you can connect 2 headsets to it, but I've never tried it actually. I need to try that. But that means the rear passengers have got something to entertain themselves on the drives, and you can still play it through the speakers. You obviously can't see what's playing back there, but they can have the usual stuff that you normally have with Tesla Theatre here or with games. It's back there, so that's kind of cool. I do still wish that they will put it into the back of the seats. There's a lot more space in the Model Y, and craning your neck down to that center position is a little bit awkward. And I think when you've got space like you do on a Model Y, having it in the back of each seat here, I think is definitely the way to go. So maybe that'll be a future upgrade. Just a suggestion for Tesla. What might appear to be an awesome feature, but in reality isn't, is the power recline second row. Now, I've experienced this in the Kia EV9, and it's kind of annoying that typically, I don't know how Tesla's going to do this, and I hope I'm wrong, you have to press and hold the button to keep it going until you want it to either stop where you want it to stop, or to make it go all the way down. So I'm going to guess that Tesla's pretty clever at this stuff. It's going to have sensors, so if it meets resistance, it's going to stop. So you don't have to press and hold that button. But it's still the issue that it takes several seconds for it to go down like this, and vice versa, compared to just do the flick flick, and it's it's going to be annoying when you as the owner discover how slow it is compared to you just thinking like, you know what, I just can't be naffed to that. I really can't. Now, something that's very light on detail here, and no one can really guess what's happening, is it talks about some invisible speakers in this car. Like something in the long range that's integrated to the door panel there, which looks pretty nifty in my opinion. We'll wait to see. And thankfully now they've got acoustic glass, not just on the side fronts here, but also on the rears. So I believe with some noise suppression stuff they've done to the wheel arches, with the glass improvements, it's going to be a quieter cabin. So yay, thank goodness. That's a good thing. And just looking at the launch series, by the way, there's some stuff in here which I think will demonstrate to everybody you've got the newest, latest and greatest Tesla Model Y out there, because look, it's going to look very different anyway, but there's a bit of badging both on the rear boot, on the front door seals. You've got some puddle light action there where the charging dock is, and there's some vegan suede material in the cabin. All definitely brag factors, don't get me wrong, but also, like when I purchased this car brand new, this is the standard range by the way, it was $76,000, and now I can buy the same car, a way better car arguably, for $70,000 drive away. So that's awesome. But as we've seen with Tesla, whenever they're either trying to move stock or be price competitive, because they are competing against Chinese brands, and sure, they're a premium offering. No, not premium. They are kind of, they're a step above Chinese. Don't get me wrong, but they just have to really compete against cheaper electric car brands like BYD and MG. And I'm going to guess, and I think you're going to say it too, that there's going to be price cuts. So just maybe wait and see. And after launch in May this year, by the end of the year, there's going to be some price cuts. And you're going to lose that badging and the puddle lights, which is neither here nor there, to be honest. And you'll probably save yourself $3, $4, $5, even like, oh my gosh, $10,000, $16,000, $20,000. Yeah, Like, okay, just FYI, by the way, I actually did look at selling this car late last year, and the best I could really get for it was about $45,000. So I took a $30,000 bath if I had sold a 2-year-old car, and that's because brand new ones were selling for about $57,000 drive away. So yeah, Tesla's um, it's, the devaluation is quite significant, and that's because of, well, a competitive car company. A few notes that I've got questions about, and we'll just have to see how they actually roll them out, is the position of the rear rego plate, and then beneath it you can make out there's actually, where the tow point is, and that makes it quite low. Now, I'm no expert on towing, but I think doesn't a low ball actually have an impact on what you can tow, like weight-wise? If you know, can you please comment below? I really appreciate it, along with subscribe, because that really helps out the channel. Because, yeah, I think it would ruin the car if they had to put the rego plate in the middle. I don't think they need to, by the way. I'm just citing the fact that the lowness of that rego plate, and then the balls, the actual bit where the toe point comes out, it could be a problem. But what is not a problem, oh my gosh, finally we're getting a front bumper camera. So okay, I'm excited for this. I'm really hopeful we're finally going to get 360-degree views in these new Model Ys. And this is what we've all cried out for. Tesla Vision, which has replaced the ultrasonic sensors for parking, sucks. It's bad. It's very bad. I can't tell you the number of reviews, and I've experienced it too, just how poor it is. And you know why it is? It's because it's missing that element down the front. The camera can't really tell how close something is to it. It's using the cameras up here that are reserved for autopilot, the rain wipers, and the light, okay, for your headlights. So this, I think, is going to fix that problem. Thank you, Tesla. Oh, and we all want 360. Man, would I sell my car now? I don't. I'll wait and see. I'll wait and see. So thank you so much for that. But the other one is, and I think Tesla hasn't said this. People are thinking that the frunk is now powered. It's not a feature in the list there. And if you look at the animation of your car, it's always been an animation on the car. And right now, my hood's just open because I've got a power frunk, and this is something Tesla should do. I've got to interrupt myself because I could be wrong, but could be right as well. Just looking through the Tesla footage, if you look very carefully, after this guy taps on open frunk, the suggestion on the left of the screen as to what you need to do for the automatic drive select thing, right? But watch what happens to that area when he clicks open frunk. So he taps it, and it changes to close frunk. Now, I don't think that's actually a button that you can push that will motorize it and close it. So I still think I'm actually right, but equally, I'd like to be really wrong, because yeah, it's well overdue. It's well overdue. Anyway, back to Chris, back to the video. Tesla, if you're listening, make the long range a lot more special and unique compared to the entry-level model. Make people stretch for something that's really awesome. Put the TVs into the back of the rear seats for the long range version. What else could you do? I don't know. Would you suggest something below? Because this is what Tesla's done. It's actually listened to consumers. It's listened to reviews. It's looked at the aftermarket to see what people are putting into the cars to address the issues that they have actually created or have admitted. And also they're looking to other car makers for design cues. I need to put that hood down because that is just shining in my eyes super bright. Yeah, I think this is a very good upgrade. Excellent upgrade. Very kind of price competitive for a Tesla. Appreciating that in the future, hopefully we get full self-driving in Australia, who knows when. But yeah, top tip, if you're thinking of buying now, great, do it. You won't regret it. But do not purchase EAP. Do not purchase full self-driving. Neither is worth the money right now. And just wait until they actually launch it. We saw in America, not price increase when it was dropped, has actually gone down. Okay, so the whole fear factor of, gee, I've got to secure the price now so I protect myself in the future. No, don't do it. Just wait, because autopilot is a very good system. It's the best in the market, and you'll be happy with it. And the added value with the EAP and FSD are just not really worth $5,000 or $10,000 when all that does is it actually adds more taxes to your car price. So you can do it separately after the fact. If you still have FOMO and you think, I really want to get this, buy it after you get your car. Oh my gosh, I can't say that strong enough. Okay, that will do it for this video. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, you know what you can do, hit that sub button. You're going to do super thanks, or if you want to see behind the scenes and early access, think about Ko-fi. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully, maybe right in front of my face right now, this is a video that YouTube thinks that you might like, and maybe you should go watch it. Alright, cheers.